Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to show you a couple of cool teams for the Tower of Doom event. I'm going to show you what I recommend to get from the Soulforge, and also a cool Underspire team at the same time. But first up, let's take a look at this weekly glory troop, Chargrimax. Converts 3 yellow gems into purple dragon gems, boosted by cursed enemies, then curse and death mark a random enemy. Traits are all enemies lose 2 random skill points, is immune to death mark, and reduce damage from spells by 25%. So nothing too fantastic about the traits, but the reduced damage from spells is good, as is being immune to death mark. No nasty surprises there, unless you get cursed first. But the spell converts 3 yellow gems into purple dragon gems, boosted by cursed enemies, then curse and death mark a random enemy. Not bad. It's not bad that, converting 3 yellow gems into purple dragon gems with a boost is not bad. It can self-charge itself that way and give mana to the rest of the team as well. But then curse and death mark a random enemy, that's fairly strong because it's cursing the enemy first. I mean, say you got an enemy on the opposite team like Arachnian Weaver that's normally impervious and you can't touch it with death mark normally. The fact is, if it chooses them, because it is a random enemy, it'll curse it first and then it will get death marked. So even a troop that's impervious like Arachnian Weaver will be affected by that death mark, and if you get lucky, you could just kill them outright. So yeah, not too bad, fairly solid. Wasn't going to give it a 6 out of 10, but I'm in a bit of a generous mood and we'll give it 7 out of 10. But as ever, get it to mythic level if you can spare the glory. Anyway, I caught my dog Minton chewing on a shuttlecock. I said, bad Minton. Do you see? Anyway, enough of the hilarity. Northstar, the guild I'm in, are looking for a few players. A few players are jumping around guilds at the moment and leaving the game and things like that, and we need a few new players ourselves. But this is a really cool guild to join. So if you're in one of those guilds that basically like doesn't get all the rewards done every week, you've got a few players in there that maybe are a bit slacking, they don't really seem to pull their weight and it gets on your nerves, good chance to change out and change guilds. So if you play on PlayStation and fancy joining a guild that does get everything done literally every single week, we've never ever failed to close every single reward on every single event every single week. We get legendary tasks done at the same time, so you get even more bonus stuff on top. But yeah, low weekly requirements. If you play on PlayStation, then message Red Hot Rockstar and see if you can join. Right, on to the Soulforge end. We'll start with the weapons first and work our way down. Alright, first up is Doom Shield. No need to get it from here though, will cost you a whopping 800 diamonds to start with, as well as all that other stuff, because this is available from the Tower of Doom shop, so may as well get it from there. Kind of get it for free in a way, because you're going to want to unlock those different levels to get the Tower of Doom done, and you'll pick it up along the way. But it gives magic +2 armor to an ally with a +3 per temporary level boost, give barrier to all purple allies, and stun all purple enemies. If the enemy has a Doom, then convert 3 purple gems to giant purple gems. So it uses purple itself, gives barrier to all purple allies, that'll be your whole team in this event. Stun all purple enemies, handy when that comes along. If the enemy has a Doom, which it will do at some point, convert 3 purple gems to giant purple gems. So not an amazing weapon, nothing attack based about it, it's very defensive, but barrier to all purple allies is pretty strong in an all purple team. So yeah, going to pick it up in the event anyway, and we'll see if we can use it or not. Explosion. Explode 4 gems of a chosen colour and heal magic based life. So pretty basic mana gen with a bit of life, nothing too special about that considering it's rather high mana cost. 15? Jeepers creepers. I'm going to go over all the ones that are here all the time, they're in my Soulforge extra video. Mystery Egg. The mystery is not much. Creates 8 red and yellow gems, then summons either a dragon egg or a fell dragon egg. Ooh, the mystery. Will it be a dragon egg or a fell dragon egg? I can hardly contain my mysterious surprise. Anyway, the mystery may be, will those 8 red and 8 yellow gems make any matches? And it's got a chance to self-charge because it uses a yellow, so it can self-charge and do it again, further enhancing the mysteryness of it all. Yeah, anyway, it's not that much of a mystery, not really. Let's see what's next. A volcanic shield. Give magic +1 armor to an ally. If the ally uses red mana, give double armor. If the enemy has a boss, explode all red gems. So it's kind of a weird weapon in a way, because yeah, the armor to an ally is alright. If the ally uses red, give double armor, so you can't put it on yourself and get that effect. And it has to have a boss in the team that you're fighting to explode all red gems. So fairly situational, nothing too fantastic about that. Mace of Claws. Looks like more like a mace of a pumpkin with a point on the end. Never mind. Deal magic based damage to an enemy boosted by dragon allies, then create a mix of 6 red and purple gems for each dragon ally. So if you've got a bunch of dragon allies in your team, everyone's a dragon ally, you're going to create a load of red and purple, but make sure at least a couple of those dragons use red or purple or both to make the most of all that lovely mana. Talk of the dragon, kind of the anti-dragon weapon in a way. Remove all red gems, that's the colour they like the most. Then deal magic based damage to an enemy boosted by gems removed. If the enemy is from Dragon's Claw, if the battle is in Dragon's Claw, deal double damage. It's one of those cheap weapons you think you're never going to use, but these are generally always worth picking up because there'll be a point in the game where you need a certain amount of weapons fully upgraded to enhance your kingdom, so always worth getting for that kind of reason as well. Doomed Focus. Create 4 red gems, plus 1 gem per tempering level, so very weak without tempering, very powerful when fully tempered up. Then give magic plus 1 armor to all yellow allies, and if the enemy has a doom, eliminate all armor from a random enemy. Uses yellow itself, so you can give armor to yourself and the rest of the team if they got yellow, and eliminate armor as well if they have a doom. Dragon Tails. Deal magic based damage to an enemy boosted by Dragon's Claw allies, then create a mix of 6 red and purple gems for each Dragon's Claw ally. So similar to the other one, a damage with a mana gen if you've got the requirements, creating that mix of 6 red and purple. If you've got a full Dragon's Claw ally team, it's going to be an awful lot of red and purple, just to make sure at least a couple of your other troops are using red and or purple. Say every time, but if you've got the resources, haven't got it yet, just craft Wand of Stars. It's the best weapon in the game. It's ridiculously powerful. There's almost no other reason to use any other weapon in the game sometimes when this is eligible for picking. So yeah, it's that good. Absolutely ludicrous. Creating 6 elemental stars, blessing all allies, or creating 7 umbral stars and cursing all enemies. I mean, it's really amazing on the mana gen, let alone the fact you get the bless and all the curse at the same time, whatever one you require for the battle. Absolutely ridiculously good weapon. Ridiculously good. Anything else? Wings of Destruction. Explode magic plus 1 purple gems. Grant a random status effect to all dragon allies. Then summon a dragon troop. So nice explodey summoning weapon there. I do like them. The Dread Arquebus. Magic plus 3 damage to an enemy boosted by beauty gems. Then explode 4 gems. So damage boosted by beauty gems with a little bit of mana gen at the same time. Can be pretty good. Scaled Blade. Seems to be a lot of weapons here today. Deal magic based damage to an enemy boosted by red allies and a dragon ally. So yeah, nothing too spectacular about that, just a basic weapon with a boost. Any more? Doomed Spear. Magic based damage to the first 2 enemies with a plus 2 per tempering level boost. Then create 2 yellow gems for each yellow ally and enemy. If the enemy has a doom, gain a random status effect. This is actually a really good weapon. Dealing damage to the first two enemies with that nice tempering level boost at the same time. Then against an all yellow team, this is absolutely lethal because create 2 yellow gems for each yellow ally and enemy. If you're restricted to yellow, just stick this in your team, because in PvP the enemy will be restricted to yellow at the same time, and you're just going to create an insane amount of yellow gems all the time. If you're not frozen, it's just going to loop and loop and loop until the enemy is dead. Absolutely fantastic weapon in that circumstance. Make sure you grab that if you fancy it. It's a good one. Right, on to the troops next. As ever, have a little look through these summoning stones ones, see if there's anybody there you fancy, especially if you're a newer player. Really good chance to pick up some of the better troops. Looking for goblins, looking for anybody that starts empowered, like First Mate Axel Luber, as I call him. Converting blue to red and bleed on the strongest enemy, starts battles with full mana. And anybody that's just good, like Bogstrider, that's pretty decent. Explodes magic plus 1 gems and entangles a random enemy. So mana gen and entangle, inflicts entangle when doing skull damage, as well as reduced damage from skulls by 33%. Pretty cool. Anybody in here? Got a goblin there, look. Damage to an enemy and a random enemy and gain an extra turn. Always good. Really annoying those goblin teams. Firebomb. Starts battle with full mana. Don't really see it in teams anymore. Just explodes gems at the start and blows itself up. Who else is good? Anybody else? Cockatrice can be annoying. Got a goblin shaman there. Create 7 green gems. Give life to a random ally and gain an extra turn. Always handy. Thrall. Really good again. But it starts off weak if you're a newer player. It's not going to be that useful, but as you grow with the game, he gets more and more useful. So Thrall, really, really good as well. And anybody else not recognising anything there is absolutely fantabulous. But yeah, have a look through there and see if there's anybody you fancy and roll the dice and see if you get lucky. Right on with the mythics, same as before. We're not going to go over the ones that are here all the time. They're in my Soulforge extra video. Dragon Lord Luther is one of the ones that's here all the time now. Ferrocafru, what a great start. This guy is fantastic. Convert all gems of a chosen colour to cursed gems. Convert 3 skulls to deathmark gems. Then convert all other skulls to uber doom skulls. It's the converting all gems of a chosen colour to cursed gems, which is super useful in this. You can actually look for anything that's going to make a 4 match on brown effectively, because that is what cursed gems are. And you get an extra turn out of it. You can charge brown troops really easy. Really good. But the star of the show is that third trait. Explode 2 random gems when my turn begins. If you only picked up one of these when he first came out a few months ago, then you should definitely get another one. Stick him in a team with something like Essentia at the bottom, 2 of these, Stellarix at the top. Then most of the time Stellarix just gets charged up as soon as the game starts, because you explode 4 random gems at the start. And it doesn't matter what colour they are, because Stellarix uses all the colours. And it gets a 50% mana start with Essentia, and it's just ready to go. Works with any dragon, in fact, like that. But Stellarix works particularly well because of the fact it uses all colours. Really, really cool. Do love Ferrocafru. And Eye of Argies is the next one. Very good, but mainly for that Eye of Destruction. Create two Doom Skulls at the start of my turn. Explode a row. Deal magic-based damage to a random enemy boosted by red gems, brown gems, and skulls in the row. But it's mostly used for that. Create 2 Doom Skulls at the start of my turn. Use it with something like Web Spinner up top that does triple skull damage to most enemies. You can combine this with a Great Worm that creates 2 normal skulls at the start of its turn. Combination of 3 of Eye of Argies or the Great Worm, and you create 6 skulls at the start of each turn. With Web Spinner up top doing enormous damage, you can actually wreck through teams super ultra crazy fast. Really good fun. We have the dragon on rotation. Oh, excuse me. Iskana Tarlin, a gem dragon. Damage to all enemies boosted by brown gems. Yeah, it's good troop. Does lots of damage. Chance of an extra turn as well. But this is one of the ones that costs extra Dragonite. 2,000 as opposed to the normal amount. And I say it every week, but if this is the only dragon you need to finish off your gem dragon set on your path to getting Stellarix, then I'd say it's definitely worth the extra, because you need to get all 6 and you keep on getting duplicates sometimes, and it's really annoying. The odds are 5 to 1 against you sort of getting the one you want, so this guarantees it. So if it's the last one, I say spend the extra Dragonite, because it's guaranteed. If you get lucky, you may save some Dragonite, but I know what I'd rather do. And that is spend the extra to guarantee it. Shade of Zorn. Oh, that's a bit rubbish. Does a damage to an enemy boosted by red allies and skulls. If the enemy dies, summon 2 Fists of Zorn, which is sort of no good if you haven't lost any troops yet, which is kind of the idea in a battle in the first place. Is stealthy though, does have undying, and gains 4 mana when I take damage, so you even have to get hit to actually make the benefit of the third trait. Absolutely terrible, terrible mythic. Really is bad. Possessed King. Still decent. Really good for that unstable possession. Explode 2 random gems on 4 or 5 gem matches. Does damage to all enemies. Boosted by both daemon allies and enemies. And there are 3 separate 20% chances to transform a random enemy into a daemon. Don't really cast Possessed King that much when I have it. I'll use it for that unstable possession if it's in a team where I'm going to create a lot of 4 matches. But yeah, because that separate chances to transform a random enemy into a daemon can actually work against you. The amount of times that I've had somebody really close to being killed and cast that, and it basically transforms them into something more powerful than was there in the first place. And it's like, it can be a bit annoying like that, but yeah, still really good for that unstable possession, and some very cool artwork on him at the same time. Do like that artwork on that particular one. And let's take a look at the legendaries ever so quickly. Don't say to craft these, save your diamonds for the mythics, which are much better to get hold of, but we'll have a quick look at them anyway. Summit Imp does scatter damage based on your magic, creates 7 red gems. If an enemy dies, gain 8 magic. But the cool thing about this is that Sunshine gain 8 magic on yellow gem matches, and a yellow loopy team just keeps on going up and up in power and can get really powerful pretty quickly. Next up we have Frost Feather. Damage to all enemies, and if there's an Ice Storm, curse all enemies. So basic damage to all if there's an Ice Storm, curse, but this has actually got like a hidden use in a way. I've always said, I haven't actually said it that often, but this is a really good defense against goblin teams. The trouble is with goblins sometimes is once they get going, they will just loop and loop until your entire team is dead. But stick this guy at the top of your team and freeze all enemies when I die. That will stop a goblin team. So as soon as you lose one troop, and stick it up top, because basically if they get some skull hits as well, it's going to pick on this fella, but it will stop that loop with that icy rebirth if you're up against a goblin team. So that's an extra way of using a troop like that. Ulf Harrigan, really cool. Damage, true damage in fact, to 3 random enemies. If an enemy is wounded, deal 10 extra damage, then summon Ulf's mascot. Nothing too fantastic about the traits unfortunately, but that is a decent and a pretty powerful spell. King Oberon, pretty nifty as well. All Fey allies start with 50% mana, gives life and 5 magic to all allies, then creates a firestorm and enchants all allies. So who is gonna get my mythic of the week? Well, I'm not gonna hang around. It's not gonna be Shade of Zorn, that's for certain. Eye of Arges is really good, but the Great Worm does a similar kind of thing, and debatable whether the spell is actually better, because the Great Worm does damage to all. And it's the First King is good, but it's just not as good as the rather awesome Pharaoh Khafre. So I'm going to give the mythic of the week to Pharaoh Khafre. Right, now on to the Tower of Doom team. I'm going to show 2 teams for this, one mythic and one no mythic, for the benefit of the players. You're still to get mythics in the game. But in either case, you must use the event weapon. The Doomed Shield earns times 2 score, and for this event only, so you must get that. And you grab that from the shop at tier 4. You grab as many tiers as you need, but you have to buy them in order. So you get tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4 to pick up that Doomed Shield. Actually, not a bad weapon for this. Giving armor to an ally with a +3 per temporary level boost. Then give barrier to all purple allies and stun all purple enemies. If the enemy has a Doom, convert 3 purple gems to giant purple gems. So yeah, not too bad. And you do get the benefit of all these other tiers at the same time. At tier 1, you pick up the Potion of Enchantment, enchanting all allies at the start of battle for this event only. At tier 2, you get the Potion of Explosion. This is going to work really well with the team I've got. It's going to be absolutely nuts, in fact. This explodes 4 gems at the start of battle for this event only. And you'll see what that does in a minute with my team. It's mental. And the Potion of Rejuvenation heals 3 damage for all allies at the start of turn. So very good indeed. And the Potion of Armor, we get that as well. So not too shabby at all. But the first team I'm going to show is the Mythic team, then we'll go on to the non-Mythic team. But this is going to be pretty straightforward, I think. We're going to have 2 Medals of Nisha, 1 Medal of Anu to give our Morthani's Darkness a nice little head start in mana. But she steals magic +2 life from 4 random enemies and summons Morthani's Will. So at the start of the game, when the enemy's got not much life, that's true damage effectively. It's going to wipe them all out straight away. It will just hit anybody in turn and finish them off. And she does create an Uber Doomskull when her turn begins, so you do have to look out for that. But the reason this is going to be so good with that Potion of Explosion is because of Pharaoh Khafre here. Like, absolutely amazing trapped tomb. Explode 2 random gems when my turn begins. So that's going to become 4 random gems because we've got 2 of these. That's going to be 8 random gems because we've got the Potion of Explosion. And he's available in the Soulforge. You've only got 1 of these guys at the moment, because it was the Mythic Friday troop, I believe, several months ago, but still really good. But if you only got 1, then you can get another one from the Soulforge. Totally worth it. Works really fantastically well with 2 of these, and also converts all gems of a chosen colour to cursed gems, converts 3 skulls to deathmark gems, and converts all other skulls to doom skulls, uber doom skulls in fact. But it's the fact that it converts all gems of a chosen colour to cursed gems, which are brown, which kind of makes this really tick, because Morthani's Darkness is brown. You can get a 4 match on that. You can force it by changing that colour to the cursed gems, which are brown, and that will help charge up Morthani's Darkness. Have an extra turn at the same time, which in Elementalist class means you're going to get those really nice effects going on of the weapon. Let's just check that out. Stun, freeze, burn, and entangle a random enemy by matching 4 or more gems. Really, really cool. And in the talent trees, we can have stuff like Impact, we can have Insulated, we can have Stone Circle, really good for our brown troops. Storm Aura, start a Dust Storm at the start. I know it's a purple event, but this is going to work so well in brown, it's going to be nuts. Rock Solid, we get barrier all the time with this team. Barrier when we collect brown, and barrier when we cast a weapon. Really, really cool. Lightning Strike, explode 1 yellow gem on 4 or 5 gem matches will be cool. Stone Mastery is good as well, your choice. And Fortitude, always good to be immune to stun. Poison, Disease, Deathmark, Lycanthropy, and Devour. And apart from that, we are good to go. But the banner for this, the silver banner from the Silver Necropolis, is ideal. +2 purple, +1 brown, -1 blue. So I'll just show this a few times. And then we'll show the no-mythic alternative. I have a slurp of my tea during the loading screen. Look at that, look. See, look. It's about that explosion. This went nuts. And Morthani's Darkness says, oh, okay, then I'll mop up. Thanks for the head start. And because she's stealing mana, stealing life rather, she adds it to her own and gets more tanky. Really, really cool. Right, let's do this room next. So we've got that 4 explosion at the start, and then Kefru comes in. Here's the 4 initial potion of explosion ones, and there's the Kefru. Morthani's Darkness is ready. Done. Simple as that. Absolutely nuts. It literally does not get quicker than that. Let's do the next one. I'll come back to this one a little bit later on when things get a bit more tricky, but providing you match 4 matches when they're there and things like that, and Elementalist, you should be really safe, because Morthani's Darkness is going to keep on stealing that life as well, which is really, really useful. She didn't get charged up that time. Surely it's some mistake. So we'll grab some purple and brown in, get a barrier at the same time, as well as tons of charge. Really easy, bish bash bosh, job done. And that is the boss room unlocked. Now onto the no-mythic team. Really, really cool team this. A very simple but easy team to use as well. Zernabog, Venoxia, Shockwrath, and Doomed Shield. Venoxia will be our main damage dealer, creating 9 green and 9 blue gems, then dealing magic-based true damage to all enemies, and gains 1 magic when an ally casts a spell, and poisons a random enemy on 4 or 5 gem matches, which is pretty cool. So does a lot of damage and generates a lot of green and blue. All the green will feed back into herself, and any blue, if it matches, will feed into Shoggorath, who silences and deals true damage again to the first and last enemies, and explodes 5 gems of the most used ally mana colour, again getting mana for the team. So very, very cool indeed. These two can loop around each other. Venoxia can feed into Shoggorath, that can explode gems and charge up Venoxia and repeat the process. Zernabog gives us a nice quick start regarding mana on this, hopefully. Exploding brown gems all over the place, basically, and giving us a ton of mana and reduced damage from skulls by 50%. And conjures a dust storm when its turn begins, means we get a lot of brown, which doesn't seem that great considering we use purple mainly, but it does work because it keeps on charging itself up, and all the other colours that we use like purple, green and blue are basically feeding into each other pretty well. So you can change to Elementalist class for this if you want to. Do like to start with a nice quick mana start when things are easy, and Geomancer you get that really nice all construct start with 50% mana, so that's the Zernabog and the weapon. But you can change to Elementalist class, like I say, if you want a slightly slower start but more protection when you get all those 4 matches. But yeah, should be fairly straightforward with this, I think. Just make sure you keep on getting the barriers and casting a weapon when you need protection. Got explosion from the start. The weapon's up next round anyway, not the weapon. Zernabog, we may as well get green for Venoxia. Cast Zernabog, and we are ready to rock and roll. Kaboosh them all out of there, and one mighty great kaboosh. Let's do the boss room. And carry on. There you go, got ready already. Don't actually need to cast Zernabog now because basically Venoxia is up next round anyway. We may as well get some stuff for Shoggorath should we need it, but we're not going to. Oh, we are actually, because they got a cheeky summon. Let's give Shoggorath a bit of action. All the team is ready to cast. Really, really cool. Right, the unlock scroll is here. Let's see how this one goes. Get the most explosion at the start of battle. Click brown or purple to get Zernabog up. Create brown and explode stuff all over the place. Get 4 matches. This is like why it's going to be really good with Elementalist class as well, because Zernabog does create a lot of 4 matches. So feel free to switch to that. A slightly slower start at the beginning. Quite more safety and potential as the tower progresses. Right, let's just show this a couple more times and then we'll go on to the Underspire team. May as well get some purple. Shoggorath's ready already. Let's give Shoggorath. Should we give Shoggorath a bit of action? Yeah, it's just some explode gems anyway. That's got Venoxia up. Oh, nearly gave the bird a chance to run away. Not on my watch. Or my bracelet. Or my necklace. Oh, what are we going to do? I do like to keep things even, so we'll go for green today. Right, I'm just going to switch back to that Pharaoh Cav routine to show why the way it changes a colour to the Cursed Gems, which is brown, is so useful when you've got a troop like Morthani's Darkness in the team at the same time. She's stopped one shot on the opponent now, so we do need to multicast her, so this is where she gets really, really powerful though. It's just, the start is just mental with this team, really. It's just so funny. Right, so Cav Ruler, he's got charged up and looking for anything that's brown, which is going to convert into a 4 match. Looks like we're actually quite unlucky in this instance, because normally you do get something pretty much almost every single time, but hey, that's the way it goes sometimes. But we have got a little bit there. It's not much, so we may as well just get that instead. We'll get other opportunities, but yeah, like this one here. Like, say, for example, Pharaoh Morthani wasn't up. We got this option here on blue, we got it here on red. That's the way it usually goes, and you basically pick a colour like that. Give Morthani's Darkness the colour she wants, as well as getting the burn, stun, freeze, and tangle effects from Elementalist. It'll often charge up Morthani, and she can wipe out. Now onto the Underspire team. Showed this team a few times, but it's so easy to use, it's absolutely nuts. Mentioned at the start of the video how you can use the Eye of Arges with the Great Worm, because of the way they both generate 2 skulls when the turn begins, which is really cool. So with 3 of these, that becomes 6 skulls. It does damage to all enemies as well, boosted by skulls. And normally it works best with a troop like Web Spinner up top that does triple damage all the time, unless somebody's impervious or immune in some way. But this actually works really well in Arch class as well. Start battles with 50% mana and a 15% chance for skull damage to be lethal. So with all these skull hits, we can do some serious damage pretty quickly. And the weapon, Prey Seeker, has several advantages. Does true damage to an enemy if the enemy is Hunter's Mark, deal double damage. But what's cool about this weapon is it has Mass Marked. If you have it upgraded, Hunters mark all enemies when you cast it. So that means those skulls do even more damage. It's absolutely nuts. You can actually blitz through the team, even on the higher levels, really, really quickly with this team. We'll have Petrified Banner from Halcrag, +2 brown, +1 red, -1 blue. And as we said, Archer class, very good for this. 50% mana start, 15% chance for skull damage to be lethal. Can have a perfect aim. We can start in safety because the enemy is going to be root trapped. Can have backup just because we don't want either of these two really. We don't really need Wall of Vines. Nope, don't need that either. So we may as well have Goblin Friend. Always good to have a Goblin Friend, isn't it? A friend that likes a gobble Oh dear, no, can't go down that road. Dodge, 30% chance to dodge skull damage, always good, especially as we're generating tons of skulls. And anything you like from here, because that one's no good. But this one's still going to be very effective for this. Let's start up. And of course, if the Great Worm does manage to get charged up, then obviously it's just going to do damage to all and rip through anyway, and job done. All those Hunter's Marks really going to pay off. Let's grab our free lantern from Nose Mate Red Eye Hat Jewel Face. Yeah. Should still be really good on the later levels. But you may have to look for some 4 matches a little bit more. If you don't get a 4 match, grab yourself. Oh, there's one at the top. I wasn't looking properly. But anyway, we'll probably get an auto hit. Well, let's just do it with a weapon just for fun. And onwards and upwards. Oh, onwards or upwards or downwards. What's it going to be? The only way is up, said Yaz once, many moons ago. Right, so there's one hit straight away. May as well get that in case we get a skull cascade of some descripts. This is like an almost auto win kind of team. It just happens almost by itself. You just got to make some very basic matches. Oh, left or right? The only way is right. Right. The ultimate doom of flame, if you say so, mate. We've got some 4 matches here anyway, so we'll grab them. Why not? Oh, we can employ old Mr. Great Worm, so that's where that comes in handy as well, just to wipe through should it get charged. And we'll pop over here. We'll make this a last one. Very, very straightforward team to use this one. Super easy. Get the Great Worm from the underworld. Crack open some portals, see if you get lucky. Lots of easy matches. Yeah, piece of cake, especially with that Hunter's Mark going on as well. But there it is, there's the video. If you enjoyed it, it'd be really cool if you bash that like and subscribe button. It really does help. But most of all, thanks for watching. Catch you again in the next one. Bye for now.